Here are today's top news stories and why they matter. An ongoing strike by cargo truck drivers in Malawi is triggering concerns about an imminent rise in the prices of some products, which could have dire consequences for the country's economy. Why are the truck drivers on strike? The cargo truck drivers who move between Malawi and Mozambique say their safety isn't guaranteed, as they often come under attacks in Mozambique. The drivers hope their strike will force the government to resolve their concerns. So how is the government responding? DW's Chimwemwe Padatha has details.
Following the strike last week by the truck drivers, Malawi's Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced that it is engaging the government of Mozambique to resolve the situation. The truck drivers largely complain about a series of attacks on the road and being robbed by thieves. Malawi depends heavily on road transport to haul raw materials and finished products. The halt to the movement of these items is triggering an interruption in the supply chain industry between the two countries. There are fears that a temporary shortage of commodities on the market will affect prices, a development that worries some Malawians.
To affect Malawi negatively, we have so many goods that do come into Malawi using the Mozambique channel. We talk of petroleum products that is coming from Malawi, from Mozambique to Malawi. So if the truck drivers continue or proceed with their planned strike, will be affected, which will definitely lead into a situation where Malawi is going to have some shortages in the fuel and other goods.
It is yet to be seen how quickly the government of Malawi can address the concerns of these drivers to get them back on the road. Mozambique has been experiencing politically motivated protests that have fueled chaos and insecurity in most parts of the country.
Thank you, Chimwemwe. Moving on, South Africans gave a rousing welcome to the country's ambassador to the US, who was expelled and declared persona non grata by the Trump administration. Ebrahim Rasool and his wife were met at the Cape Town International Airport by hundreds of supporters who sang songs praising him. The couple was provided with a police escort to help with crowd management. So how significant is this? DW's Thuzo Khumalo reports from South Africa.
Lucy, this is significant because support for the ambassador has escalated the frosty relations between South Africa and the US. Rasool was expelled for comments he made during a webinar in which he stated that the Make America Great Again movement associated with the Trump administration was partly a response to a supremacist instinct. Rasool, though, said it was important for South Africa to fix this relationship with the US as quickly as possible.
We must rebuild and we must reset the relationship with America, because our relationship with America over 50 years has not always been with the White House. It has sometimes been with Congress, and it has always been with the people of the United States of America.
I must say, though, that the gathering to welcome the ambassador was in defiance of President Cyril Ramaphosa's order, fearing it could fuel the already inflamed tensions. The government would now have to appoint a new ambassador as it works on restoring relations with the US. Back to you, Lucy.
Thanks, Thuzo. And finally, in Zimbabwe, there is something to smile about as the newly elected International Olympic Committee President Kirsty Coventry arrived back home to a hero's welcome. Performers stomped the airport in the capital Harare, dancing to the sound of trumpets and drums to welcome Coventry home. Why does this matter? Zimbabwe has faced isolation and sanctions by the West and the United States for years. So Coventry's victory is being celebrated as a national milestone. The 41-year-old, who is also Zimbabwe's sports minister, has become the first woman and first African to be elected head of the Olympic body. She beat 6 other candidates in the vote in Greece on Thursday, including the head of World Track and Field, the head of international cycling, and a member of Jordan's royal family. Coventry expressed her delight in the massive support from Zimbabwe and Africa.
During the campaign, I focused a lot on being the best person, not gender, not about continent. But now I'm really very proud that we can say we are the first Zimbabwean, the first African, and the first woman.
And that's all we have time for today. Don't forget to comment on the stories, like and subscribe to our page, DW Africa. Thanks for watching. I'm Lucy Riley.